Arctic air has tightened its grip across the Great Lakes. We'll talk about how low it's going to go tonight in just a few minutes.
Also, first at 4, a new COVID-19 report from the state of Michigan, and one number is at the lowest point in 46 days. Encouraging signs. Health officials still warn you still can't drop your guard. Here's Paula.
We're known as the Motor City, but I'll introduce you to two men who say that we could become Chip City and rule the world. But Detroit, we have a problem. I'll show you what that is.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the weather continues to be our top story as the snow has moved out, but frigid temperatures are sticking around into the weekend. Some of you might see readings below zero. Get prepared. So let's bring in meteorologist Paul Gross. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is it is cold out there, Karen. A lot of us struggled to even get to 20 degrees today. A few folks did make it above 20, but a lot of us didn't even get there. Wind chills for most of us are in the single digits to around 10 degrees. Notice in Adrian, the air is calm, so there is no wind chill there. Now, there is one spot that is actually getting snow. It's not here in Michigan. It's actually just to our east across the river here in Ontario. This is a pretty good lake effect band that's been coming down Lake Huron, so Kettle Point, right around there. You've been kind of in the thick of it for a while here. I think this band will drift eastward during the course of the night, and by tomorrow that should move up to the northeast. So this evening, though, temperatures continuing to fall through the teens and will be well down into the single digits by tomorrow morning. So we'll talk about all of that and your weekend forecast straight ahead, Karen.
Meantime, we're keeping an eye on that snow removal in the city of Detroit. The city says all the main roads and side streets should be plowed at least once by 6 p.m. tonight. That's in 2 hours. Now, there was some discussion of pushing the deadline to Monday when the snow was still falling. Help Me Hank is checking on the city's progress, and he will have a report on Local 4 News at 5. The Omicron wave has made it stressful for the past few weeks. But there is some encouraging news to share this afternoon. Today, the state is reporting more than 9,800 cases in the past 2 days. That's a daily average of about 4,900, which is the lowest number we've seen since December 20th. 7-day positivity rate has fallen to 22%. But remember, home test results are not counted, so that does not really reflect the total transmission right now. Hospitalizations are also at their lowest point since November. Health experts are still recommending you take precautions against COVID and get fully vaccinated. Former Macomb County prosecutor Eric Smith has been ordered to stand trial. He has been the focus of a long, often delayed preliminary hearing, and the judge made that ruling today. Smith is facing charges that include embezzlement. Authorities allege he used the money for country club catering, home security, and other perks. Prosecutors say the scheme dated back to 2012 and totaled $600,000. Smith resigned in March of 2020. Ford Motor Company just announced some new plans for its Mobility Innovation District at Michigan Central Station, and Google is joining as a founding partner. Detroit is working to designate a transportation innovation zone in the district where businesses can safely test out their projects. Google will open a lab to teach high school students computer science, and the state will offer $126 million in new and existing programming to support the district's goals.
If we're going to attract the best and the brightest to our company and to our city, we needed to provide them a place that was inspiring. And I think when this is finished, you'll find that this is going to be incredibly inspiring.
If you have an idea to change mobility in the world, this area right here on Michigan Avenue is where you can make your dreams come true.
Ford Motor Company says renovations could be finished as early as next year. The Michigan Supreme Court dismisses the Voting Rights Act challenge of redistricting maps. Black lawmakers had filed suit challenging the Redistricting Commission's decision to eliminate majority black congressional and state Senate districts that currently run through Detroit. Now, the suit argued the changes violate the Federal Voting Rights Act. In a 4-3 vote, the court ruled the suit failed to prove that argument. Other lawsuits are pending, leading up to the next round of elections in November. Well, we sure hope you've been enjoying the 2022 Winter Olympics here on Local 4. The games were officially opened very early this morning, local time. Now, don't forget that big time difference. Beijing is actually 13 hours ahead of us. Kimberly Gill joins us with a look at opening ceremonies and what makes them so special this time around.
Hi, Karen. Hi, yeah. Good afternoon. The opening ceremonies are always a grand spectacle, but like so many things during the COVID pandemic, the festivities had to be scaled back a bit. We've had live coverage of the ceremonies, as you said, this morning at 6:30 a.m. If you missed it, Here are just a few moments from the show. This ceremony was extra special because Beijing is the first city in the world to host both the Summer and Winter Games. These Olympics opened 14 years after the summer version back in 2008. The entertainment was cut back because of the cold temperatures and, of course, the COVID pandemic. But teams from around the world still got a chance to walk into the stadium, including the 224 members of Team USA. Meanwhile, figure skater Nathan Chen is off to a good start after the men's short program. He has the U.S. in first place in the team competition after he recorded the second highest score ever in that part of the competition. It's the first of 8 segments in the battle to be the best team on ice. We won't dwell on too much of the results right there now, so you can enjoy the games as you would like, tracking scores live, or you can wait to see the events on tape delay when necessary. And speaking of that tape delay, let me just say, if you weren't up at 6:30 in the morning to watch the opening ceremonies, you can see the entire program tonight in prime time. Join the coverage starting at 8 p.m. Karen, NBC and its many platforms have the games totally covered. Just turn on Local 4 and NBC will guide you through the next 2 weeks. So for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Some exciting times. All right, thank you, Kim. Sure. Well, right now, we all know there is a desperate need for computer chips. They're the building blocks of most everything electronic and certainly for manufacturing in the future. A local businessman and educator are joining forces to work on the delays, but Detroit, we've got a problem. Paula Tutman joins us from Washington Township to explain. Paula.
Yeah, hi, Karen. So at this particular dealership, for instance, they're usually packed to the gills. They move cars around so they can slide in inventory. But anymore, take a look right now. They're moving cars around so that they don't look so empty. All of these vehicles use this computer chip technology we've been talking about. And so this is a visual, a true visual of why this is a huge problem. If this looks like some space-age campus in the future, it's because it is. It is what's being proposed as the future Invictus Innovation EV campus for microchip technology, coming to about 200 acres near you, if Danny Wilkerson and Alex Yasha Yi have their way. The businessman and the educator have formed an alliance that could change the region.
We're actually trying to build the facility to manufacture microchips in the state of Michigan and the southeastern region and train and create the jobs in this space.
Yi, a professor at the University of Michigan Dearborn, has been creating a curriculum that he says will change the Motor City USA to Chip City USA.
Computer chip is going to be the core technology of the future vehicle.
It's all about alternative energy, and it's a place where there'll be R&D, manufacturing, educational labs.
The current chip shortage we hear so much about has slowed down production of nearly everything. The semiconductor chip is the nucleus building block of nearly everything we'll use in the future. And that future is now, from computers to consumer electronics to electric vehicles.
In Michigan here, if we want to keep the Motown status, the leader of the of the vehicle in the world, we have to heavily invest in the semiconductor chip. That's what Danny and me are doing.
Currently on the University of Michigan Dearborn campus, 24 students are already beta testing the new curriculum.
Basically the 2 light paths.
And so the fledgling chip program is starving for more students.
Through this lab, they are doing some of the real fabrication. Basically, they are doing some, electronic chips, and get the hands-on experience.
As for that artist rendering, it has a look, but no firm address yet. And Invictus is looking for support from the Big Three, the state, and the feds to actually invest in the future of a technology that's in short supply until the United States weans itself from a supply chain created outside its own borders. Yeah, when a new car does roll in on a truck, it's generally sold before it even rolls off the ramp. The bottom line is empty space, not good for commerce. And in fact, I told my husband I was doing the story. He reminded me we didn't have a furnace for 4 days because we were waiting for a chip. The chip finally came, slid it in. They fixed it in 3 minutes. I don't know what that bill is. I'm afraid to look.
I'm still stuck on the no furnace for 4 days. I give you credit for getting through that one. It's cold out there.
Because of a chip.
I know, exactly, those darn chips. All right, thank you, Paula.